Can I just have a good performance, a winning performance at Stamford Bridge for once, Arsenal fans? The last 2 years, I've been very critical. All season, I've been critical. This week, I was critical. Today, I was critical. If you can't win, don't lose. It depends on how you look at it, people. Obviously, it's another draw. We've got three. And I do think for Mikel Arteta, the manager, today, Sunderland and definitely Manchester City, there's a lot for him to learn. Obviously, people, it's a weird one because I'm grateful that we got a point considering the game. Considering, let's be honest, it probably was our worst performance of the season thus far. Whether it's because of fatigue, which I don't buy, players not being there, it just being a bad game. Maresca, I can't lie, you got to be honest. I think people are doing too much, but the way what he had, in terms of certain phases of play, uh, Fufana, Gusto, and Reece James in the middle. That was working. They were cutting through the midfield too easily. They looked dangerous on the counter attack. Neither team finished their dinner. And in that regards, it was a low-key affair. The quality in the final third from both teams was not there. Obviously, they scored from a corner. The corner boys got corner boyed. And double M Mikel Merino, be honest, smash the like button. How many of you lot were crying for Gyökeres on? So there's that. For me, the midfield, obviously you could say we needed everybody to step up, but I just think Maresca's game plan was spot on, whatever he tried to do. So there's also the caveat of everybody's not playing as good as they can, but also tactically they needed a bit of help. And I'm skipping ahead, but I did want some changes from Mikel Arteta in terms of, if not personnel, higher changing and going about things because you are getting nervous. Now, obviously, before the game, speak to both sections of fans. Obviously, Chelsea and Arsenal fans, it's a London derby. They want to win. They want to spoil each other's day. We would have probably been the least likely to take a point. They would have been the most. As the game went on, obviously, I was thinking, yeah, can we get out of this? Because at a large point, I'm like, yo, just get into half time. Let's just keep it moving. Boom, boom, boom. The best thing that happened at a point in that game was evidently the red card. And I thought, okay, Gaffer, get things to go. At no point did we put their defense or Sanchez under sustained pressure. We weren't good enough in the final third. I'm very disappointed about how we came out in the second half. Don't know what was said between the Gaffer and their players, but you got caught cold. As I said, Chelsea, to be fair with you, they never looked like a team, even when they went a man down after that silly tackle from Caicedo, shin kicker. Rice busted case today. Saka did get an assist as well. Allow him. But they never looked like a team with 10 men. And they'll probably, as the game went on, they would have been disappointed. And when you factor in the fact that you can't win them all of these luxuries, excuses, and unforgivables, it does feel like, you should be beating teams with 10 men. But realistically, boy, there was times where that game could have went left for us. Big up Timber and Rice. They even had to make two last-ditch efforts. I don't want to hear about the players that are not available. Clearly, players that were not available may have made a difference, but they've all been there at some point this season or last season or the season before, and these same things have played out. You can't win them all. We did want to make more of a gap where the title race is concerned. Chelsea are in it, whether their manager or their players will say such, I don't know. I did think the ref, we're Arsenal fans, Cucurella's a lucky boy. I think the yellow cards needed to fly out a lot sooner, but I can't control the ref. I can't control injuries. There was enough out there from us to play better. Rice, I think you did well. Timber, I think you did well. Saka at a point, it's a good battle with you and Cucurella. Second half, I'm peed off with Saka. I know he's technically got an assist, if I can remember correctly, but it's like he's gone to the casino, he's gambling, and then he's lost, and he's still throwing money in. And what I mean by that, he's just shooting from here, there, and everywhere. And we love Saka. He's our guy, but today it's not really banging. I don't think Madueke was amazing, but I think he brought something to the table. I don't think Odegaard was amazing in the final third, and there's a lot of ring rust. I think he brought a lot of what I felt was lacking, if I'm honest. Marino, there's a lot of sloppy passes in the midfield as well. Marino bagged the goal, of course. Yeah, man, it weren't the best of performances. It's as simple as that. And you want to win, you want to keep up the excitement. I'm not trying to find negatives or positives where there's none. Because on one hand, this is a league of fine margins. Everyone's dropping points. Us, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, everyone's going to drop points sooner rather than later and keep dropping points. I think it's going to the wire. But naturally, as good as we've been this season and whatnot, I do think in terms of controlling the controllables from the manager and the players, it was our worst performance. And I said this in the live stream. I look at this first half against Manchester City, the second half against Liverpool, if nothing more in the Sunderland game. And as I said, these things happen. You can't win them all. The last 15 minutes where you got 3 points in the bag, it could have been a lot better today. It should have been a lot worse. But when you consider those are the games we need to learn from. So, you know what? I'm not trying to find positive, but considering everything and all these things, this is the second draw that feels like a loss, or better yet, the third, because throwing City, Sunderland, whatever, all we can do is move on. You come out of this, you know, you're taking 4 points in your last 2 games. You beat Bayern Munich. The games are coming thick and fast. Obviously, it sucks that when a couple of players are coming back, there's more talk around injuries. We don't know what's going on with Saliba. At this moment in time, I don't know if Calafiori came off for Miles Lewis-Skelly because he had a knock, or because there's some sort of injury. Gyökeres, we saw him again. Gabriel Jesus was on the bench. We knew he was going to be one of those that you're on the bench and don't come on. Did want to see a bit more from the gaffer. I don't know what I wanted, but you're the gaffer. Me as an armchair expert, I can see them. I can see the players are not doing whatever. I can see we need to get our midfield in the game a bit more. Raya and that are having to gamble, and it's a thing where, obviously, if you can't go forward, go backwards. So we're keeping possession, and you can see evidently every now and again players are getting frustrated. You saw that with Mosquera trying to make things happen, and Timber and David Raya, who was just on the Frank Lampard thing. And you know what the funniest moment of that game was there? When Raya took that throw in. I was thinking, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, man, I think that I genuinely feel if it stayed 11 versus 11, I think we lose. I'll be brutally honest. I think there was there is a reality where we could have done the smash and grab, because we did have some low-key efforts that Sanchez made look a lot more dramatic. The worst was, where, not blaming Timber, but Timber's kind of taking it off the path of Gyökeres. It feels like deja vu, and that happened last season. But it is where it is, man. I wanted a performance at Anfield. I never got it. I wanted a performance at Stamford Bridge. I never got it. I want to win the Premier League and some silverware. Hopefully, I get it. It is what it is, innit? Like, you take the negatives that we've seen this season and today. You take the positives and take them to a new level. You take the evident areas of improvement and improve them. And there's no time to rest on our laurels. You got to go to Brentford. Brentford don't care that you ain't won the league in 20-odd years. Brentford are doing well post Thomas Frank. They're going to be on to you on Wednesday. So there's more minutes in the legs. And I don't need to tell you about next Saturday, Aston Villa away. And we all know the games that are coming up. We got Aston Villa twice, January, Man United, Liverpool, etc., etc. So it does feel like a defeat. We're getting bantered for drawing and told we don't really want it, even though certain man lost to a 10-man United side. But it's what he's got to win them all, man. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Is what it is.
Like